30 places.
He's playing Mike tonight.
We'll go ahead and call the Tuesday, May 27th City Commission meeting to order. If you would, please stand for the invocation and the pledge. Heavenly Father, we come to you this tonight. We ask that you give us wisdom to make the best decisions on behalf of the city of Leesburg. In your precious name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Proclamations we have none, and presentations we have none. We'll move to public comments. This section is reserved for members of the public to bring up matters of concern or opportunities for praise. Please note that issues raised during this time will not be discussed in detail during the current meeting. They will be either referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled for consideration at a future City Commission meeting. Each speaker is allocated 3 minutes to provide their comments. Kindly adhere to this time limit to ensure equal opportunity for all participants and to support the efficient conduct of the meeting. Thank you. Any public comments? If you would, just state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Amanda McLee, Leesburg Center for the Arts president, 429 West Magnolia Street. I just want to let you guys know, thank you for your continued support of the arts. I just left where 15 of our Art U students have done a puppet show that they designed and are performing for all their parents. The Art Center is completely full with all of our residents and parents of those kids. So thank you to your continued support of this group. Also, into Lakefront TV, they have provided us some coverage for that puppet show, so that'll be going on Lakefront TV. But thank you, commissioners, city manager, and staff. We appreciate your continued support.
Good evening, fellow commissioners, mayor, city manager. I don't know why I got nervous all of a sudden. I'm so used to you guys. But no, on a good note, I just want to invite you all out to West Leesburg CDC ribbon cutting. It's going to be June the 6th for the duplex. This is one of our babies that has been dear to our heart over the last year. I thank you all once again for the funding that you have given us and the opportunities and the work relationship that we're going to have moving forward. And on that note, which I received a notification that the George W.H. Bush Foundation acknowledged us for the community services that we're doing here in Leesburg. So that was a major plus, knowing that I was getting up here today. So thank you all, and I'm looking forward to working with you all ahead. And we will see you on June the 6th at 7 p.m., and that's going to be at 2114 Waitman Avenue. And the chamber is going to be cutting the ribbon with their items. So I'd love to see you all there. Thank you.
Any other public comments? We'll close public comments. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Routine items are placed on the consent agenda to expedite the meeting. If the commission or staff wish to discuss any item, the procedure is as follows. 1, pull the item from the consent agenda. 2, vote on the remaining items with 1 roll call vote. 3, discuss each item pulled and then vote by roll call. Are there any items the commission would like to pull this evening? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve all the items on the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any public comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Burry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Mayor Reisman?
Yes. We'll move on to 6, public hearings and non-routine items. During public hearings and non-routine items, the commission requests that those in attendance respect the process and maintain order, as such in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order. Please refrain from speaking out, cheering, or applauding during these proceedings. Your cooperation helps ensure a fair and respectful hearing. So we have no second readings. We'll have first readings. Would someone please introduce 6B1?
I'd like to introduce 6B1 to be read by title only, please.
Thank you.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, vacating and abandoning a portion of the unimproved right-of-way of Madison Street located in Leesburg, Lake County, Florida, south of U.S. Highway 441 and between Lot 4, Block 46, and Lot 1, Block 47, according to the revised and recorrected plat of re-subdivision of Silver Lake Estates as recorded in Plat Book 10, page 66 through 69 of the Public Records of Lake County, Florida, reserving a utility easement, providing for conditions, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
This is a first reading. Dan, any comments on this? Okay. Any comments from the commission? Any public comments? Seeing none, this will lay over till June 9th. Would someone please introduce 6B2?
I'll introduce, ask to be read by title only.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, amending Chapter 10 of the Code of Ordinances relating to fire protection and prevention to create Article 3, Open Burning Regulations, creating Sections 10-50 through 10-52, providing for regulations and restrictions on open burning, providing for penalties, providing for exemptions, providing for conflict, severability, codification, and an effective date.
Thank you, Andy. This is a first reading. Any staff presentation? Seeing none, any commission comments? Seeing none, this will lay over, any public comments? This will lay over till June 9th. Would someone please introduce 6B3?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only, please.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, amending ordinance number 24-25 concerning the granting of a non-exclusive franchise to Tri-County Sanitation LLC and its successors and assigns, parentheses, franchisee, providing for conflict and severability and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Andy. Any staff presentation? Any commission comments? Any public comments? This will lay over till June 9th as well. We'll move on to 6C, non-routine items. We have none. Informational reports, city attorney items,
No reports this evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
city manager items.
Let me just bring up one. The mayor's looking for a record here. Look, I sent out an email earlier today about potentially speaking with the county about a joint
Pending agreement.
planning agreement. Yeah, JPA. I had the acronym, but not JPA. Recently, the county and the city of Groveland has approved the JPA. I don't know, obviously, this will be a long process. That's what the June 30 meeting is about as well. So with that thought, I think that there's some areas of commonality we could work with the county on. So I outlined in that email some of the points that I thought would be reasonable grounds to start some discussions with the county about a JPA. It's in that email. Some of them were sunsetting the ISBA, kind of keeping the provisions that we like and deleting the ones that we don't like. I think the provisions the county didn't like necessarily now, X years after we did the ISBA, was the non-contiguous annexations. So we would propose in such a JPA, we keep the ISBA box, basically the lines of where we grow. We eliminate the non-contiguous annexations, and we revert back to a process of, I'm going to call it 163 annexations, because that's the statute that regulates how you annex. I would capitulate that all of the annexations we've done, for the most part, especially in the RPA, have been contiguous annexations, not uncontiguous, which we didn't actually need the ISBA for. But in any case, I think there's some scenarios there that perhaps the county may like to discuss. I happened to have a discussion with Commissioner Parks last week about some different things, and that's kind of the catalyst, if you will. Commissioner Morris has also talked to me on several occasions since being elected as well. So in any case, that's there. Barring any feedback from you all that you may have at this juncture, I could probably go ahead and get that email out to the county manager here probably this evening, if you make your schedule, and go from there. So any questions you have, let me know.
I have a question. Will we make a liaison between the county and the city to have someone to be?
Yeah, I assume that there'll probably be several discussions on there. The liaison probably be me or Dan as the lead point for how we would talk with them, and then this document will be a working document, so it will come back before each body, the BOCC as well as you all, for review and input. I would think on a number of occasions for things for you all to add or subtract. At least from a starting point, the bullets that I put in that email would be the ones from the city perspective that I think probably enough bullet points there that start discussion. But I think it would be a long process and lots of public input and commission elected official review.
Could we workshop?
I think it would be something you may want to have a specific workshop on. I think before we get to workshop, we probably have to have the workings of a
What a
document
template or something
before
before we
you
go on. Okay.
start adding and subtracting from it.
I was going to bring this up in my comments, it'll be quick, but I think it's tied into the JPA. I was going to reference Sean Parks. He presented to the Lake County Commission last Tuesday a funding strategy for roads. Did this come up in your meeting with him?
It did.
But I guess the purpose, I didn't mean to catch you off guard. The purpose of my comment is I want the public to know that the county and this commission hear them on roads and traffic. And it's good to know that Sean Parks did submit he calls it Lake County Roads Funding Strategy. He submitted to the county commission last Tuesday. I just saw a copy today. It's a starting point, but I mean, he basically is saying, we need to look at any and all options. We need to raise more money. And I just want people to hear that. So just, I don't know if there's a connection to the JPA is why I brought it up under your comments.
One of the bullets in the JPA, the county and the cities have talked the last year about the concept of taking over city roads, especially, I'm sorry, I said that backwards, taking over county roads, especially in areas where the city has annexed or development on both sides of said road. I think this is an exception for collectors. A collector road would be 48, 33, 441, 44, those type of roads. But I mean, there's some roads that you probably don't even know are county roads that the city probably should assume. For example, West Main, from Canal to 27, that's a county road. We had taken Canal to Dixie years and years ago, I think when we started doing different projects. So there are a couple of anomalies like that, and I think those are probably easy roads. And I think at the end of the day, at least from my perspective and how I would recommend to this body, I think that the biggest issue there that you would want in a JPA, not necessarily is harmony in land development regulations, because I think politically you're probably just not going to get there. I mean, even the dichotomy of our commission versus putting two bodies together. So I think land development regulations become extremely difficult to do because really that's the root of home rule. But I do think from a JPA level that goes along with growth, there's a lot of planning and financial things that we have said kind of from the get-go on things that we need to talk about, how best to provide police, recreation, streets, those type of services. And I think the JPA, at least potentially, is a vehicle to get there. There are a few, I think, poison pills that I outlined in the email this afternoon, where I think that would probably trip up the city commission, at least the majority of it. But with the meeting scheduled ahead is probably a good time to start.
Very good.
And that was my last question. I wanted for the public to know that we are meeting with the county commission sometime in June. Can you clear?
Yeah, there's a series of meetings. I think they're kicking off a charter meeting on the 2nd. The JPA is the 30th, and then there's a fire services concept that's coming up in July.
Okay, I just wanted the public.
Those are at least the three big,
Right.
The three big topics we'll be talking about. The dates I may have mixed up.
No, that's fine. I want the public to know that we are talking about roads. Here's a meeting with Leesburg City Commission, Lake County Commission. So thank you.
Very good.
I have one more as well. One more question, please. Explain the ISBA when you say sunset. So that means all items that would be already approved and voted on as of what date?
So sunset would mean exactly that. If we, the Groveland, and the cost for a sunset is upon review of the Groveland Lake JPA. There's a statement in there that says that the JPA supersedes the ISBA. So the ISBA doesn't, the JPA doesn't sunset the ISBA, but I think in our specific case, if we're going to have a clause in a JPA that has one document superseding the other document, then I think the question is, why would you do that? And why would you have two working documents where one supersedes the other? I think that will create hostility and confusion down the road. So if we're going to move into a JPA, I think the indication, and we've had enough indication from the county commission that they're not real happy with the ISBA as of late. So if we're going to endeavor into this JPA language, then I think we need to pull back the ISBA. And so how would that sunset? I think there would be provisions, the ISBA would only sunset if a JPA is approved. There may be annexations that are in Dan's queue that probably would need an exception to the no more non-contiguous annexation clause. But those things, as we would negotiate and talk,
As they come up.
Those things will get vetted.
Thank you, Al. Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Connell?
Switch it up on me.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes, I'd like to ask for a recommendation as far as our last meeting, the comprehensive annual financial report. Is it possible that I recommend that the commission receives it like at least 2 weeks to a month before we getting it that day so that we could review and have further conversations for the presenter, the CPA?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's just a recommendation.
Well, and the difficult thing with that is we do the timeliness of it, the requirement of getting it approved by the end of March, and then the accountants going through and doing all the work. And so the timeline is basically that document gets wrapped up between September 30th and March 30th.
Right.
Right? So there's still outstanding
window.
invoices and accruals and things they got to count before they can make the final numbers. So we really work hard to get that document approved by March. So that's the hurdle we're up against. But we also do all the budget reports and the different things throughout the course of the year. So
Just a chance to review and just
Absolutely.
have questions to be able to ask the presenter versus accepting what is. Yep, that's my only thing. Thank you.
Commissioner Peterson?
Nothing tonight.
Mayor Eastman?
One thing, this Friday night is opening night at Pat Thomas for the Leesburg Lightning. Game starts at 7 o'clock. Hopefully see y'all out there. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.